Dungeons and Dragons. Our heroes helped the wizard they found regain consciousness. She explained she was after a man affiliated with a dangerous cult and that he must be stopped. Our heroes then continued their chase of the priest. It led them through the storage car where they had fought the giant chickens. As they made their way through the car, they noticed Mr. Anderson lying on the floor of his cage in a pool of blood and with a large gash on his chest. Beside the cage were a number of items that were in the murder room. And the mime in the other cage was cowering in the corner. Our heroes decided to split up into a pursuit team and an investigation team. The investigation team took to the mime and he gestured to him that he did not see what happened to Mr. Anderson. Our heroes then proceeded to free him from his cage and let him walk away. After he left, the investigation raced to catch up with the pursuit team. But not before Happy knocked over the felt doll. Our heroes and the priest carefully made their way across the tops of the train cars using the roof cables to not fall off. They continued until the priest stopped on top of a train car that had a sunroof. This is when he began monologuing about a man he met who wished to be freed from his sin and have his soul returned to the sea. However, Smith don't give a fuck and tied him up and began carrying him back the way they came. However, as they were making their way back, streams of water from below burst through the glass. Our heroes began fighting with the strange water stream tentacles, but despite their best efforts more and more kept appearing. One stream managed to rip the priest free from Smith's grip and melt his vines. And this is when the rest of our heroes arrived. Screech, without hesitation, ripped the priest from the water stream's vortex, and deadass tossed him between the train cars as he watched him vanish underneath the car. Meanwhile, the sunroof had taken too much damage and it shattered into pieces. Anton and Bingus were standing on the sunroof and they fell into the pool below. This was when the water in the pool swirled into a vortex and formed some kind of water monster. Some of our heroes were still on the roof of the car, so they began making their attacks from there. Anton continued to not know how to swim, so Kiki transformed into a shark to save him. Meanwhile, Bingus swam and pulled himself out of the water like a normal person. Between Smith and Kiki's efforts, they managed to pull Anton's slimy body out of the pool. However, the monster did not appreciate a shark taking bites out of it. So it took a bite of the shark. Roof team kept poking at it from above trying to get it to drop the shark. However, they weren't alone. Dynamite Dylan picked up a nearby statue and chucked it at the monster attempting to help. Meanwhile, Anton, having been freed from his watery grave, took careful aim and shot the monster. The monster, having suffered his final blow, evaporated into steam, dropping both the shark and the statue. However, our heroes discovered a body underneath the statue's rubble. Smith scooped up the body and our heroes went to go tell the captain about this. On their way there, they passed by the empty mime cage. Screech ignored Smith's questions and instead stood back up the felt doll that Happy had knocked over. Meanwhile, Happy had taken the Andersons' room key and started to ransack it and definitely wasn't going to take over Mrs. Anderson's life. Our heroes found the captain, gave him the body and explained everything that had happened since they last met. Our heroes decided that at this point their best leads were to either try to find the missing girl or to take another look at the DJ.